My name is Maddie Mack, and I was the content intern.
I'm Natalie Song, and I was the project manager intern.
My name is Chris Gould. I was the visual design intern this summer.
When you first decided to apply for the internship and you learned that you had to apply via Snapchat, how was your reaction?
Right. I was pretty stoked.
I was terrified.
Is it a real internship?
First of all, I love Snapchat. It's a great medium. I was able to get really creative with it and do something that wasn't just a cover letter typing up what I really liked about graphic design. They got to know me.
For me, I am a project manager intern. I'm not the creative, so called my dad right away, and I was like, Dad, you gotta help me. I was like, there's no way I'm getting this internship.
So you're crediting your dad for your Snapchat?
Not the whole thing. He threw out some ideas, but I'm the one who overall created it and came up with it.
So tell us what you did on your application.
Yeah, it was right after Grease Live had come out, and so I wrote a parody to Look at Me, I'm Sandra Dee, and it was like, look at me, I'm Natalie, interning at Lemonly.
Tell us what you did for your application. I don't remember.
So since I hate my voice on camera, I just stood in front of a whiteboard and wrote a bunch of stuff on the whiteboard. In response to the application question, why would you make a kick-ass intern? My first thought was that line from The Office where Michael Scott goes, why don't I tell you what my greatest weaknesses are? I work too hard, I care too much, and sometimes I can be too invested in my job. And so I lip-dubbed over that.
So for my Snapchat, I did a fortune cookie. And the question was, what are you gonna do to be a badass intern? And inside of my fortune, I opened up my cookie and it said that I was a badass intern. And the lucky number was my phone number.
I remember that now. How did you do that?
I actually put it in the microwave for a little bit and I wrapped it in a paper towel. And then it...
Just soften it or what?
Yeah, so then the cookie can open up and you can refold it and put a fortune in, so.
Shit. It's better than I thought. The fact that we did this by Snapchat, we had a technical error, right? And you had to do it again.
Yeah, I had to do it again.
Did you feel it was better?
Practice makes perfect. Yeah, I spent a little more time on some of my drawing things. Instead of just writing Hi Lemonly, I'd tried to copy the actual logo font and everything on the whiteboards.
And are you a better designer today than you were at the start of the summer?
I would say that I'm a better designer, yeah. I just like my work a lot more. Maybe it's the content that I've been able to work on, like the Later Babes one that we did. I was able to come up with some really wacky concepts for them and they really liked it, and so I was able to really push where I was going with my illustrations.
I had no idea how to write copy for an infographic when I got here. Even now, I probably don't always format it the way that the designers wish it was, but it's just a constant learning process, so you kind of have to dive in and figure things out as you go. I mean, I could have read articles or books or anything on how to write copy for infographics or how to write video scripts or things like that, but you still don't really figure it out until you're in the thick of it. And that can be a little daunting, especially when you're doing client work because they're really counting on you, but I think that added pressure actually just makes the whole process go faster.
Tell me, what was the most fun thing you did with the Lemonly internship this summer?
I would say, I know Chris talked about Later Babes, but that one was a really cool project. We just gotta come up with the concept all on our own and come up with a fold, and it was a really different project than I've ever worked on, so I would say that.
So it wasn't getting ice cream for us?
That was second, you're right. Ice cream was first, because we were really good at that, and then Later Babes, and then all the projects I worked on.
I think the biggest thing that I learned was just how to work with a group of professional designers and taking critique and noticing all of the little details that are really easily overlooked.
As you leave, you've graduated already, so what would you say was your biggest takeaway from this experience?
Yeah, I would say that real client experience, and just, I think in this position, a lot of things don't go as planned and how you expected, and timelines are gonna change and projects are gonna change, but I think learning how to adapt and how to communicate that in the best way was definitely what I did.
Did you screw anything up this summer?
Oh yeah, definitely, but I'm not gonna tell you what I did.
No, I knew that Lemonly was kind of a different company than other companies as far as culture went, but I think some part of me still expected when I got here on the first day to be treated more like an intern. This is a practice run. I was still kind of surprised when designers would ask my opinion on something. I felt very much like people listened when I had something to say, or that people really took my opinion. We actually had weight in conversations.
What would you tell someone who's going to apply for the Lemon internship next year?
Definitely do it. It's a great experience. You can learn so much from the people around you.
I would say do your research. I'd say be bold. Like, I wasn't all for the Snapchat, but at the end of it, I was so happy that I did, and it kind of made me step out of my comfort zone.
I think I would say get creative, but don't forget to sell yourself a little bit too. Not just within like, look how wacky my application is, but also making sure that you underlie what you're bringing to the table or what your superpower is. I know that's kind of one of the questions that you guys have a lot in interviews for interns and other positions. So putting your superpower at the forefront, being creative and being original.
What do you think was your biggest takeaway from this experience, like as you look back at the end of the summer?
Yeah. I would say just the real client work that I did. There's not many internships that you're actually getting to work one-on-one with a client and you're actually the project manager. I wasn't just getting coffee. I mean, I did get ice cream.
You've had an internship at an agency before. How is it different or similar?
Yeah, the other one that I worked at, it was a lot bigger agency, so this was a lot smaller for me and much more niche, like specific, and so I think it helped me learn a lot. I had more opportunities to actually lead in projects, and I really liked that.
How did you feel the first day when you came in, and now how do you feel leading it? How have you changed?
Internships, any job right away, I feel like is terrifying. You don't know the clients, you don't know the programs that they use, so yeah, now that it's coming to an end, it's kind of crazy how fast it's gone, and it's been a really great experience, but yeah, I'm excited for what's coming.
What are you going to be doing next?
I'm going to stay here. I'm really excited. I feel like being able to kind of stay here and help with that upward trajectory, I think is going to be really awesome.
Okay, cool.
Good job, man. Yeah. I mean, you're fired on Thursday, so.
It was great working for you, John.